Alright, welcome everyone to the Dragon Punch Online pre-show. Jesus Christ. Because of last week, I now have PTSD every time that I see that red square on stream elements go red. But it's fine. We're still alive. We're still good. Anyway, so here we're looking at the results of the previous Dragon Punch online tournaments for specifically the SF5 bracket. Last week we crowned a brand new champion. Sepman finally took the crown for Columbus last week for Dragon Punch 10, securing that sweet bag of, how much did we actually pay him? I think we paid him like 70. He got like 70 plus. We had like a 150 plus prize pool last week. It was wild. So as you can see, the statistics changed up just a little bit for percentage of wins per player, per character. The percentage per city didn't really change too much because we got another representative from Columbus. Sepman is now the second person to actually win a Dragon Punch Online for the city of Columbus, meaning that Columbus actually has 2 DPO champions as opposed to every other city that has one DPO, which just has one. Toledo still has Mr. Mistopheles as their sole DPO champion, and the city of Akron, of course, has Mr. Corjam. Still waiting on a Cleveland champion. We got really close to having a Cleveland champion last week with Mr. David Swoops, who got second place to, of course, Sepman. Still don't have any representation in from Cincy in these top percentage wins. However, with the entrance of Ultimate Vitality this week, there is a slight chance. I also think that I think Headache is possibly entering this week. We'll have a look at the bracket real quick. Just have a quick look. And in addition to Ultimate Vitality, Jackajita, I believe, is also from Cincinnati, so there's a potential hope there. Though we are going to be setting Cincy against each other, provided that the brackets don't change. That's actually going to be that's a big old oof. That's a big old oof. Yeah, other than that, I'm not really too familiar with where everyone else is from per se. I forget where Goon's from. I can check let me check the entrance. Shingun is Cleveland. So yeah, Cleveland's gotten close to winning a DPO a number of different times, but just hasn't been able to clutch it out. So not really much to say here. An additional Sandmat's now on the per player board. Birdie is now on the per character board. That's really all that we have to say. Columbus is getting close to tying up in number of wins for DPO as Akron. So if a representative from Columbus wins today, they might have a chance of overtaking Akron as the current lead for Dragon Punch Online. Let me just go and do the go ahead, check on Discord real quick. twitch.tv/shining here it says. Alright, so that essentially covers for the champions. I'm probably going to come back and cover this just a little bit later on. This is like a quick recap before we go on to the actual event itself. But let's move on to the entrance. So looking at all the data that we have compiled over here. Let me think. I believe that these charts include everything from 2 to 48. I think. Let me just double check this. Data range 2 to 48. Yeah. So everything should be up to date. Okay. So as you can see, city representation across all the entrants. Still, a very large region of our entrants are from unspecified regions. So if we were to go through and sort all this information by column B A to Z, there's a significant number of entrants here from cities that we don't quite know. So if you happen to be in the chat and you are one of these individuals, Blaze 007, Cheesy 2, Covenant Rampage, Dat Hambone, Durzo 22, Gamma, Gorgameth, Garland FTD, Hungry Wolf, Husky Red, I don't know, just Caleb, JKing, Kawaiian Punch, Monk Unit, Brewmaster, or WTF's Up Denny's. Let us know what city that you're from, because it would actually be really interesting to see what specific city that is actually being represented here. At the moment, oh, I changed the colors too. Oof. So in terms of like Ohio cities, Cleveland has a majority of the representation, followed up very closely by Akron, and then Columbus, Toledo, and Cincy. I find it very surprising that Cleveland is actually the highest percentage of entrants. Let me turn off the Twitch chat so that way you guys can actually see what the heck is going on here. Whoop. All right, but yeah, Cleveland actually has the most representation out of all the current entrants up to Dragon Punch 10, and yet they still haven't had a champion yet. We also had a lot of heavy hitters in those other regions, and it's actually crazy. Like I'm low-key kind of shocked about that. So looking at the number of times that this particular city has entered Dragon Punch Online, we of course have excuse me, Akron currently like holding out with the highest number of city entrants in here, followed up very closely by Cleveland and the unknown regions. Cincy like bottoming out, and Columbus in third, Toledo in fourth. There's like a very general trend here, with the exception of that's actually kind of interesting. It goes Cleveland, Akron, Columbus, Toledo, Cincy, and then here it goes Akron, Cleveland, Columbus, Toledo, Cincy. So that's very interesting. So Akron actually has more, regardless of the fact that Cleveland has more entrants than Akron, Akron's entered more DPOs than Cleveland. So that might explain why they're on top. But even still, like, look at the number of times that a person from Cleveland has been in a top 4. Cleveland's been in a top 4, albeit this is across like multiple different individuals, but they've been in the top 4 so many times, and still they haven't clutched out a win yet. It's actually insane. And then of course we also have there's how many times has Core Jam been in a DPO top 4 and not won? That we actually have the data for. So if we were to check Core Jam real quick, he's of these, oh my god, of these 7 times that Corey has entered, or of the 7 times that Corey's gotten top 8, or not top 8, top 4, my mistake, in DPO, he's won 5 times. He's only lost in top 4 twice, only losing 1 time in grand finals. That is insane. One man alone. Jesus, okay. It's hard for me to write a narrative here without it just like aggrandizing Core Jam. Freaking lore players. Anyway, so a number of times that a person from a city has been in a particular grand finals. So this is where like Cleveland actually starts to like dip below Columbus, and this is actually the first time that they actually do so. Let me actually charge my phone somewhere else, because for some reason my charging cable is like acting like really iffy right now. But yeah, if you look at the stats here, Core Jam is, or not Core Jam, Columbus. Might be mistaking a man for a city. Columbus actually overtakes Akron and Cleveland in terms of the number of times that they've been in a grand finals. Now, if I were to look over at and sort by grand finals, which I'm going to do right about now. Probably should have sorted from Z to A, but it's whatever. Cleveland, Columbus 3 times. Columbus 4 times. So yeah, so it's Sebman and Hitman, who have both been in grand finals a total of 7 times for the city of Columbus. And the Cleveland guys have had around like 4 individuals. Or like 4 different times that they've like been in a grand finals. So that explains why they're just like a little bit on top. I could have just looked at the bar graph. I'm such a dingus. Anyway, Cincinnati still has yet to be in a grand final just yet, and the unknown regions haven't gotten close to claiming victory just yet. So all I can say is we're defending the state, and Cincinnati needs to put in some work. Yeah, like flood the numbers. Like at the moment, we've had like 2 confirmed Cincy entrants in DPO. Cincy, I know y'all have a scene. Get all of them out here. I want to like DP12. I want to see a Cincinnati takeover of the bracket. Of course, we still have like a couple more minutes here. I think they're gonna close off the brackets in like another 14 minutes or so. So if you guys want to enter Dragon Punch online, be sure to type in ! bracket and you'll enter the SF5 bracket by clicking on that link, registering, checking in, doing all that stuff. But yeah, still looking at Cleveland. Cleveland third place in terms of like number of grand finals, tied for second place with the unknown region. So let's just say second place in terms of like number of times that they've entered a DPO, and first place in terms of the number of times that they've been in the top 4. I feel like it's just a matter of time before we actually get someone from Cleveland winning DPO. Like if it happened this week, I would totally be down for that. And I think the best bet for the person who's most likely to get into the person who I think is probably most likely to win a DPO for the city of Cleveland, none other than Mr. THCB. His performance results kind of eclipse most other people in his specific state in terms of like his consistency in Dragon Punch Online. It's just he runs into a couple of snags with him running into some of our biggest heavy hitters like Core Jam and Hitman and otherwise. Like the most, like the second most top 4 entrants in a DPO. Very consistent in his placements. And if we were to look at the top 4 graphics here, 4th place, 4th place, 4th place, 4th place, 3rd place, and I'm pretty sure this is 2nd place even. So his consistency leads me to believe that at some point he'll eventually come out on top. In terms of like the Cleveland participant who's won the most grand finals, I don't even have to look too far into this. It's David Swoops. David Swoops has only entered twice, and he's gotten grand finals both of those times. A very powerful and very intimidating opponent. Swoops is the only other individual in this bracket or in this like list of entrants that I believe could potentially take DPO for the city of Cleveland outside of THCB. But THCB has the raw numbers advantage, so the race to the Cleveland champion at DPO, who will take that position first, David Swoops or Mr. THCB? Let's have a look at the bracket. Obviously, Mr. Swoops is not here today. Let me refresh real quick. Oh, we actually had I think Core Jam dropped because we are unfortunately down a TO. So Core Jam taking one for the team. But now that this means that this is going to be a pretty easy bracket for a couple of these individuals. Specifically these 4 in round 2. All these individuals have gotten top 4 at some particular point. These 2 have gotten into grand finals. This guy got 3rd. I don't know how the hell we let Green Ranger get in 3rd place. What were we doing that week? What was wrong with you guys? Anyway, and also we got Ultimate Vitality over here holding things down as well. So, looking at this in terms of seeds, we have Cincy, Cleveland. I think Goon is Columbus. Let me check. Goon. Oh, wait, Goon's Cleveland too. Goon's Cleveland and Green Ranger's Cleveland. Okay, so actually, like, Team Cleveland, lol. The city of Cleveland looks pretty good for round 2, just based off of their buy positions by themselves. Like, we're guaranteed getting at least one person from, well, almost guaranteed to get one person from Cleveland into this. So we'll just it just kind of depends. We have Mr. Ryan Vile and Purple Slink. Purple Slink, I believe, is a representative from Toledo. DJ Vegetal, let me think. Vegetal, Cleveland, okay. And Moisture is, I believe, also a representative from Cleveland. And if I recall the person who's behind that account correctly. So, guaranteed Cleveland all around for this section over here. The Goon is a very strong player, and I would be surprised if he didn't. Oh, Moisture is Cincy? Dang. Okay, hold on a sec. I gotta fix something in my stats, but not before I thank Mr. Ryan Vile for becoming a disciple. I have to fix that in my stats then. Okay. I'll do that off screen. Anyway, so anyway, looks like this lower section over here, guaranteed Cleveland. I have a lot of, I don't want to, Ryan, I'm gonna say this right now. You have a very tough opponent in round 2. A very tough opponent. If you can get through round 1, hell awaits you for round 2. I don't know where he's from. He's fighting Mr. Town Crier. Could represent the city of Akron pretty well. Going into here. I don't think either of these two have ever beaten Green Ranger, though, so I think the odds are the Green Ranger is going to be very successful here as well. So, Cleveland, Cincy, and then Cleveland. Very strong odds for Cleveland, very strong odds for Cleveland, very strong odds for Cleveland. I'd assume very strong odds for Cincy as well. Austin is a guy who I would consider to be the best player in the Cincinnati Street Fighter scene. I would be surprised if anyone else was actually better than him in Cincy. I'm not sure how good is Hornet. Like, Hornet's the only other guy I can think of. But obviously Hornet hasn't entered, so we're not focusing on the Cincy scene that hasn't entered. We're focusing on the Cincy scene that is here. Unfortunately, it's not much. It's apparently more than I thought it was, but it's still not that much. Just trying to correct some. All right. Okay, so we have one more representative for Cincy, so I can go over and look over those stats in just a moment. Let me see if I can pull up the leaderboards actually. Let's see, so if we were to go to... Yeah, you can see me scrolling through the stream on the stream. Look at all the Inception. Okay, I'm having way too much fun with this. I'm just here to have a good time. Let's see, Akron, Kent, FGC. So let's see, looking at... Not that. Please, for the love of God, anything but that. Let's see, scrolling down through here, we have Mr. Big Boots. Let's see, where is Moisture in terms of the leaderboards? Because that's a Cincy name I feel like I'm not too very well acquainted with. So let's have a look here. So he's entered DPO twice. He entered last week, and he also entered in on the first one for this month. Chrono the God. Ooh, okay. So one of this week's entrants is also from Cincy. Interesting. So, dang, we got Cincy versus Cincy. Unless this gets reseeded, we're gonna have Cincy versus Cincy. God. I'm just here to watch as all the cities of Ohio devour each other. I love you all deep. I love you all sincerely. I'm watching from PA. Hashtag Ohio raised. Anyway. I mean, I feel like the odds are like very much in the favor of Cleveland for taking this. Here's the thing. The odds are in the favor of Cleveland of taking this this DPO. The question is, which one? The Hidden Demon, the Consistent Medalist, or the Madman? Well, one has to wonder how exactly all of this is going to turn down. We're gonna find out in just a moment, and I think this is gonna be a very, very interesting Dragon Punch. So hopefully you guys stay tuned to this for whenever we go live with the bracket in just another 9 minutes. So I'm gonna spend a real quick moment and contact our commentators. Let's see. Actually, you know what? We still got a little bit of time. I am gonna go and use the restroom real quick and get some water, and we'll start the bracket in just a moment. I need to put a timer on the Be Right Back screen. That would be very, very good. Anyway, I'm gonna turn things over to the Be Right Back screen. When I come back, Dragon Punch Online number 11 with the Street Fighter V bracket will be underway.